Most people use AI coding like a fast copy-paste machine the hard way. Here's one bounded request. No new library, show the plan, keep the test green. Now watch what Claude Code actually changes. Claude Code is an AI coding assistant that lives in your terminal, the text window where you run commands. In a project folder, it can read your files, use tools, propose changes, and run checks, instead of you copying snippets in and out of a chat. By the end, you'll give it one bounded task in a safe practice folder, then decide whether to keep its work by checking the plan, the diff, and the test. Start small. Make a practice copy of a personal project, or use a tiny sample app you are happy to break. Install Claude Code using the current official instructions, then open a terminal in that folder and start it. Do not begin in your main project, a production system, or a folder full of secrets. 3 concepts make the rest less mysterious. First, the context window. Think of it as working memory. It can hold a lot, not everything, so ask it to inspect the relevant files instead of assuming it knows your project. Second, permission. Before a command or change, read what it wants to do. You are still responsible for the approval. Third, mistakes. It can misunderstand you, change too much, or be wrong with confidence. That is why the workflow is plan, diff, test, not faith. That's the idea. Now point it at a real project. Carefully. Begin with a read-only question. Say, read this project, do not change files, tell me what it does, where daily entries are stored, and name 3 safe improvements. Then compare that answer with the files. This is the first proof beat. Orient before you change. A useful answer is not a polished paragraph, it is a map you can check. And if it names a file that is not there, stop and correct the map. Now give it edges. Make my app better is not a task. Add offline saving for 1 daily habit entry. No new library. Show the plan first. Run the existing test. That is a task. Goal. Limit. Check. The plan is the checkpoint before code moves. The next proof beat is the decision. Can this bounded change earn a plan, a diff, and a test you would actually keep? This is where most beginner demos skip a step. They show a clever result and hide the trail. We are going back into the same small project and following one request all the way through. First the plan, then the change lines, then the check. If any link is weak, that is the result. Now the trail. You gave the request, so read what comes back. The plan should name the command path, the daily entry math, and the test. At the permission point, read the action before you allow it. Then the diff. Count the files. Read the change lines. Last, the test result. Plan, diff, test, the evidence to decide whether to keep it. That's what autocomplete can't do. It left receipts, a plan you could read, a diff you could count, a test that still passed. But a feature you asked for is the easy case. The real test of a tool is what happens when something's already broken and you don't know why. That's next. Use the same trail when something looks wrong. In this practice app, 2 habit entries on 1 day make the total wrong. Do not feed it the answer. Give it the symptom. Find the cause, explain it. Make the smallest fix. Run the tests. First, compare the plain English explanation with the code. Then review 1 small diff. Final proof beat. The same bounded method can turn a symptom into a cause you can test. If the explanation does not match the responsible line, it has not solved the problem yet. It can build and it can fix. But there's a line you don't want it crossing. That's next. Keep the boundary boring. Do not paste passwords, API keys, customer data, private work, or anything you cannot afford to expose into a prompt. Do not approve a command because it sounds tidy. Read it. Use version control so you can inspect and undo a change. And if the task is bigger than you can review, split it. The useful version of fast is fast without being reckless. Before you keep any change, use your ordinary tools one last time. Run the project's test command. Run git diff, check, Then read the diff as if someone else made it, because in a useful sense, someone else did. If the output is unclear, stop. You now have a precise next prompt or a precise reason not to keep the change. That is Claude Code 101. Start in a small folder. Ask it to explain before it edits. Give it one bounded task. Read the plan, diff, and test. You do not need to hand it your whole project today. Start with one bounded task you can review. What is the first thing you would hand it? Leave that in the comments. Subscribe for the next measured build. I will bring the logs.